Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. Today's lesson is going to be a live version of Badlands from Pinkpop 2009. Thanks very much to subscribe star Robert Filippi for the request. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what we're going to do is go through all the individual parts. Okay, so this song is in the key of E major. Tempo is approximately 116 BPM. Let's take a look at the chords first. So what we've got, four types of E5 power chord. The first one, we've got 0, 2, 2 in terms of frets here. I'm going to be using this in the kind of the build-up kind of section. So open E, first finger bar the second fret on the A and the D strings. Okay, so it's just those three strings. That's an open E5 chord. You've also got the E5 chord, which I'll be using quite a lot, which Bruce loves, where you play you bar that, keep that kind of partial E5 there, and add your little finger on the fourth fret, the G string, or your third finger. So just those four strings. Really nice E5 power chords. Two versions there, and we've also got this E5 here. Okay, so first finger 7th fret A, third finger 9th fret D, little finger 9th fret G. So really nice power chord, that one. Yeah, so you've basically got we've got four types of E. You've got that power chord, that power chord, that power chord, and also an E major chord as well. In the outro, first finger first fret G, first fret G, middle finger second fret A, third finger third fret second fret D. All six strings from that one. So yeah, kind of E chords. You've also got an A5 power chord, same shape as your E5, but on these set of strings. Be careful with these open power chords. They sound great, but you've got to make sure you're blocking off unwanted strings. See there, my first finger's kind of, these strings are not being rung, so just be careful with that. I bring my thumb round to block that low E string off when I'm playing the A5, so it just sounds nice and crisp. So that's your A5 chord. We've also got an A sus2, I think, in the outro, which is just your middle finger, second fret D, third finger, second fret G. We've also got a B7 chord. I think this is what that kind of cool riff in the outro. So middle finger, second fret A, first finger, first fret D, third finger, second fret G. So not too many chords. It's mainly E's, E power chord, A5 power chord, B5 power chord throughout most of the song. Okay, and then we've also got some different versions. We'll go through Steve's parts in a bit, so slightly different chord voicings, and the idea is it all layered together. Okay, so I had some great fun making the backing track for this one. So I basically recorded some acoustic as well for Susie Terrell's parts. That's basically just open sort of chords, really simple stuff there, and I recorded Steve's. But Niels and Steve are pretty much doing the same sort of thing. Okay, so they are the chords. So what we'll do is I'll put the song structure up on the screen now, so hopefully that will help you make sense of everything. The outro, for example, that big live outro, which is huge, I've split that up into 5 parts just for simplicity. But what we'll do, again, song structures will always be in the description as well. So let's just go through each section. So let's go through the intro first. So we've got E5, and these are all crotchets, or just one beat each for this kind of 2-bar riff. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and the E5, then B5, which I think I might have forgotten. B5, first finger, second fret A, third finger, fourth fret D, little finger, fourth fret G. That's your B5 chord. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So E5 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 strums of the A5, 1, 2. I think he's doing just hitting the 4th fret of the A string, which is a C sharp, and then B. So in the song structure, I'll put the C sharp in kind of like italics, because it's just a single in the single note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, don't forget, the way this song, again, a lot of Bruce songs work, it's the combination between this guitar part and the other guitar part, okay? So on the backing track that I made for this one in the walkthroughs, you should be able to see everything sort of locked together. So you do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Round 2. Round 3. And then you got this, okay? Down, down, up, down. Counting wise, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So kind of hit the string, slide up and down, classic Bruce style. 1, 2, and 3, 4. and then down, down, up on the A5, 1, 2, and counting wise, and then 3, 4. Because there's the last two bars of the intro, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Cool, so the verses are very much Bruce's kind of picking, which he does a lot in a lot of other songs as well. It's just the way he likes it, nice and minimal, and let the other band members do the heavy kind of chords. So the first verse, what we're going to do is we'll put that E5 with our little finger on the 4th fret G or 3rd finger, and you're basically going to do this. So eighth notes or quavers, so half a beat each, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You don't have to be hitting the same strings every time. So a bit of variety is good, but this is what I've suggested. So down on the E5, then up on the G string, down on the A, then up on the D. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So that's the sort of main E5 verse riff, and do the same pattern now, but do A5 for half a bar, so 1 and 2 and down, up, down, up. Do the same picking pattern, but now on the A, D and the G string. So down on the chord, up on the G, down on the A, up on the D. And then same with B5. And then that's a 2-bar phrase. So you're going to do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it combines really well with all the other guitarists. And then the final 2 bars of the first verse, you've got 1, 2, and 3, 4. So just down, down, up, down, down, up. And then that A5 and B5 bar again. Cool, so now the second verse, very similar. I just think you're going to add this B5 at the end. So you're going to go, so the first bar of this pattern, 2-bar pattern, and the second verse, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then down, up on the B5 right at the end of the bar. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and down, up, down, up, down, up, B5, down, up, and the A5 and B5 bar. And just repeat that 3 times. So it's very similar to the first verse, just adding that B5 at the end. So do that 3 times. And then the last time, you're just going to carry on that E5 bar, but without the B5 at the end. And then the A5 down, down, up, down, down, that you had in the intro. Of course, that's the second verse. Now we're going to take a look at the first bridge, okay? So what we've got here, Steve's doing a slightly different rhythm we're going to be doing a bit later. So what we're going to do here is just simply 2 bars of A5, down, down, up, down, down, up, and then another bar, 2, 3, 4, and do the same with B5, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and then back to A5 for 2 bars again. Okay, and then you've got this kind of cool rhythm, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so B5 here for 1.5 beats. Again, this is the last 2 bars of the bridge sections. B5 for 1.5 beats, 1, 2, and then on the end of 2, upstroke A5, 1, 2, and let it ring out, 3, then on beat 4 do the A5, 4, and then B5 for 2 beats, 1, 2, and then last 2 quarter notes or crotchets, A5, B5. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, so that's the bridge, and that'll be, again, keep cross-referencing with the song structures. The first bridge is the same as the second bridge, okay? So you can just use the same strumming. Again, if you're in a band, you know, one of you will pick the Stevie's parts because they combine really well. Okay, so then we've got the first chorus. You're going to do very similar to the intro here, apart from up here. It's just doing it down here, okay? So it's the first chorus. You've got E5, 1, 2, 3, 3 E5s, 1 B5, 2 A5s, and that 4th fret, A, and then B5. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that 3 times. then you've got finish off with that down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, like we've done quite a few times before. Cool. Third verse, you're going to pretty much do the same as you did in the first verse. So E5, A5, B5. Through that, and strumming down, down, up, down, down, up, A5 picking, B5 picking. Cool. Now the fourth verse, it seems to up the kind of sort of energy levels here, so it's a bit more strumming here, but the same kind of chord progression. So just down, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, so this is the start of the fourth verse, strumming. So down, 1, 2, and 3, then B5. And that A5 half bar, B5 half bar, down, 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 down. We'll do this 3 times. 1, 2, and 3, and then one more round. So we have 3 times total, and then the final time, down, down, up, down, down, up, A5, down, down, up, down, down, the B5. Cool, we get the second bridge, which again do exactly the same as the first. So now we'll do the second chorus. Okay, and then coming out of the second chorus, we've got the guitar solo. So the guitar solos I normally put on Subscribe Star and Patreon, but I've already done Badlands before, album version. Although this is brilliant, I'm glad this has been requested because it's just an awesome live version, and it's quite a bit different. It's a lot longer than the album version. But the solo is pretty much the same, so I thought I'd just, again, do the same guitar solo pretty much as in the original album version. So second chorus, let's go through this. I go 3 times through this 2-bar riff, E5, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Okay, it's pretty much the same as the kind of the fourth verse, I think, yeah. Same as the fourth verse. That's how you're going to start the second chorus. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. 3 rounds of this. One more round. And then E5, whole bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down, down, up, down. And then bass of that B, just stop there because you're going to get ready for the solo. Those last 2 bars of the second chorus. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Cool. Then you start the solo. So 11th fret G string. Rhythm wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the first 2 are crotchets or quarter notes. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2. And then the last one lasts for 2 beats. Can be quite aggressive, lots of vibrato. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next bar, half beat rest, and then 1 and 2 and. That's the rhythm here. 1, 9, rest, 11. 1 and 2 and. Then bend and release 11th fret G string. Okay, and then you basically do the same thing but an octave higher. Okay, so you're going to go up to the 19th fret, same rhythm, same pattern, but just up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 19th fret B string, then 17B, 19B, and then the bend and release. And then you've got the cool little hammer-on solo here. So 4 to 6 on the D, grace note. So counting wise, this bar goes 1 and 2 and 3, 4. But you've got these extra split second grace notes. So you've got one here. So hammer on 4 to 6 straight away. 1, and then 4D, and then do that again. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then the next bar, 1, second fret, 1 and 2 and 2, 4, with rest in between, and then 6, 4, 2. And then you've got in beat 2, the next bar, you've got a full tone bend 14G, 1 and 2, and then you're kind of grabbing the 12th fret B, 12th fret E, 2 and 3 and 4 E and. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Okay, really cool kind of Johnny B. Good's kind of style. type riff. It's really, it sounds great. So 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So the last bar of that solo is just repeating 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Cool, so I'll just play that solo just all the way through, just for nice and slowly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Cool, so that's guitar solo. And then Bruce is just doing very simple strumming here, really going for it while Clarence is doing the sax. So it's just E5 here. I'll do the counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, B5, A5, 2 beats, B5, 2 beats. You do that 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, B5, A5, B5, and then one more round to E5, B5, A5, B5, and then just do the kind of picking that we had in the first verse. And some of the other verses, and then E5, A5, and then that's when the those bits, the crowd kind of interaction bit happens. So that's the start of the middle 8, and I think it's 16 bars in total. Okay, so that's bar 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 15 bars of just nothing basically. Okay. So that's the start of the middle 8, and then once you've got, you know, get Stevie to come over, and you've got that with the 1, 2 and the notion, that bit. So nice build up. Stevie, I don't think he's playing anything here. It's just Bruce. So E5 palm muted, ideally downstroke. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So these are quavers or 8th notes, half beat each. 1, 2, and A5. And you basically just do that. This is the last part of the middle 8 that you can do 4 times. And then it kind of goes straight into the third chorus. Okay, so the third chorus, again, same rhythm as we've done before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 times. Third time. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Cool, now we're going to the outro. So I'm going to call this outro part 1. Okay, it starts off up here. Again, very similar though to the what we've just the normal third chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's round 1 of part 1 of the outro. And then got another 3 rounds of just your normal thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Round 2, round 3. Okay, so that's basically, yeah, so it's 4 rounds of part 1 of the outro, which is the first one, and then 3 rounds of. Cool, then part 2 of the outro. This is where he does that kind of cool bit. So here you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to kind of start here, go up and then down. And timing wise, I would be making sure it's in good timing here. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to kind of go and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this next bar, this is in part 2 of the outro. 1, 2. So down, down on the A, 1, 2, on the end of 2, second fret A, 4th fret A, and then B5. So second bar there, 1, 2, and 3, 4. I'm going to do that 3 times, that 2-bar riff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, and 3, 4, and then in the final round, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is kind of this really cool rhythm and it's done twice in this song. So at the end, this will normally be the end of the normal album version, but obviously you've got that extra outro. So you've got this. Okay, so here what we're going to do is you've got a semiquaver or a 16th note. It's going to go down up, and then a dotted quaver or 8th note, which is 3/4 of each. You've got this 1 leander, 1 leander, 1 leander, 2, and then a crotchet or quarter note. So rhythm-wise, down, up, down, 1 leander, 2, 1 leander, 2, the A5. Same thing with B5. The rest of the band are syncing with that as well, and then E5, 2, 3, 4. So you got that down, 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 down. Cool. And then obviously it's kind of interacting, you know, with the audience. Is anybody alive out there? So there, really, what you're doing, as soon as that kind of starts here, this E5, I call this part 3, which is 20 bars in total, roughly. Because it's obviously very loose timing. So you've got the E5 as bar 1, and then 19 bars or so of just something like that while it's kind of interacting with the audience. So open E, I'm just kind of using the open E strings and going down on the E, up on the E, down on the E, up on the B. He's doing different. It's kind of just, again, it's supposed to be quite noisy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and something like that, if you wanted to keep it consistent. But it's really just kind of quite noisy, getting the crowd revved up for the outro. So after you've done that 20 times, or that's bar 1 and then 19 bars of kind of that, you've got this cool little outro riff. Okay, so the outro riff, you're going to basically do part 4 of the outro, do this 4 times, and then the rest of the band comes in for the last 4 rounds. So get the E major ready. Just strike the power chord part of it to start with. Those 3 strings. 1, 2, and. Okay, so I'm going to go down, down, up. Then what you're going to do is take those off, middle and third, hit the G, B and the E strings together, hammer on with my 3rd finger. So it's a grace note hammer on. So it's 2 and then take it off. So I'm going to go from 1, 2 to 1 on the G, 1 and 2 and. So you hammer on straight away, so that's why I'm not counting that. 1, 2 and 3 and. This bar, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and then A sus2, hit the A and the D strings first, separately, down, up, then down, up, the A sus2, 1 and 2 and, it sounds like a B7, I might be wrong, 3 and 4 and, okay, because it sounds quite overpowering, but I think with the rest of the band it sounds fine. So I'm going to do 4 rounds of this for part 4 of the outro. Okay, so you've got 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and round 3, down 4, and then the rest of the band come in. You do it another 3 times. Final round. So you just do the first bar of that and then just do that rhythm we did earlier. And end on E5. Cool, so that's all of Bruce's parts. Let's take a look at Steve's parts. So I think Steve and Nils are doing very similar things here. So chord wise, we've got E major. So bar the 7th fret, A string, and then 3rd finger, bar the 9th fret and the D, G and the B string. And Steve likes to use these shapes quite a lot. So for the B, technically it's called a B over F sharp. Just think of it as a B. Think of it as a full B major chord, but instead of bar, this is a bar version, but instead of barring all 6 strings, you're just barring the B and the E string. So your 3rd finger, 9th fret A, little finger, 9th fret D, middle finger, 8th fret G, and then bar 7th fret. It's actually our kind of Steve B chord. and move that down 2 frets. You've got the A chord, technically A over E. You've also got a C sharp minor chord, which is basically the same shape. If you move that up 2 frets from the B, that'll be C sharp major. Take the middle finger off. And you're borrowing the 9th fret on the G, B, and E. That'll be a C sharp minor chord. So you've got those kind of 9, those voicings there. A5 power chord, as we did earlier for Bruce. B5 as well. This version of E5. Also, it looks like he's kind of doing a C shape. Don't know whether he's strumming it from the A string. So this is basically it's kind of called an inversion. So when Bruce is doing a lot of the E5 power chords in the chorus, Steve's going to do this kind of version of an E chord. So it just really combined, it sounds fantastic. So 3rd finger 6th fret D, 1st finger 4th fret G, middle finger 5th fret B. So it's basically looks like it's basically called a C shape because it looks like a C major moved up, and then we're just taking the root note off. So we call that E over G sharp, or just a C shape E chord. Sounds awesome. Okay, and then we're going to use a kind of partial a B chord. So instead of you took a normal B major chord, but you're just barring this part of it, playing the 4th fret D, G, and B strings. Okay, so just playing 3 strings there. That's our B chord, and then A major. Just middle 4 strings bar the 2nd fret. So there are your chords. So what I'll do is I'll kind of just play it. Yeah, we'll go through each section. So in the intro, you're just going to do this, okay? So E major, 1, 2, 3, B major, A major, and then C sharp minor for 1B, and then B, okay? So this is the intro, 1, E, B, A, C sharp minor, that's 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's combined with Bruce's parts, sound awesome. And E major. And this rhythm is quite common. So while Bruce is doing this, Steve and probably Niels as well will be doing this. Sounds great. So what we've got here, A5. You've got a dotted quaver or 8th notes. That's 3/4 of a beat. 1 and upstroke. On the of 2, so it's 1 E and of 1, sorry. 1 E and down, up, down, down. And then 2 downstrokes on the start beat 2 and end of 2. 1 E and 2 and B5, 3, 4. 1 E and 2. Sounds really cool. So in the verses, you're just going to do it nice and simple. E5 for a whole bar. 2, 3, 4. A5 half a bar. B5 half a bar. Do 3 rounds of that. And the final round, just do the same thing. Okay, so the second verse for Steve's parts, we're now going to do this. E major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then do that 3 rounds of that. So that's E, B, B, A, B, and then E5, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. Cool little rhythm we did earlier. Cool, then we've got A major. This is now the first, the bridge, so both bridges, the first and the second bridge. Same structure obviously as Bruce. So we're going to do A major, 1, 2, 3 and a 4. Really nice rhythm here. So this is that A kind of chord. You're going to go down, down, up, down, down. And that second chord, second strum, that's really important. It's on the and of 3. So it's 1, 2, 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, second bar and a 4. Okay, 2 bar rhythm. 2, 3 and a 4 and 1, 2, 3 and a 4. B major, same thing. 1, 2, 3 and repeat that. 1, 2, 3 and a 4. Cool, and now we're going to do a B. B, A, B, A, B, rhythm wise. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sounds really cool. Down, up. It doesn't really matter too much about strumming. Probably go down, up, down, 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 something like that. So that's the end of the bridge. Cool. And then for the chorus, you're going to do, it's that cool little, you have a G sharp chord. You're going to do 3 strums, down strokes. 1, 2, 3, and a kind of partial B chord here. 2, 3, 4, then A major. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So on beats 3 and 4, you're doing the E over G sharp, 3, and then B. Okay, so it's 2 bars done 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then third time. Okay, and then the final bit, the first chorus, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So now this live version, I can hear this other guitar. I don't know if it's Neil's or Steve doing it. It sounds really cool. So it just happens in the third verse. I think it goes something like this. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really subtle, but I can definitely hear something like this in this live version. So open E string for 2 beats. 1, 2, and they're going to go 2 on the A, 2 on the D, 2 on the A again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the timing there. Then I'm going to slide into it and just pick it. 4th fret A, 2 beats. 2nd fret A, 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. We'll do that 3 times. So it just sounds really cool and just add something slightly differently. Okay, and then the last bit of the third verse is E5, 2, 3, 4, A5, B5. Cool. 4th verse, very similar to what we've done before. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and now in the bridge, we're pretty much going to do the same thing as we did before. Which was this bit here. Let me just check. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2. Cool, yeah, so first and second bridges, just keep them the same. That way it's nice and sort of consistent. Okay, where are we? Okay, so now we're in the second chorus. Again, start off pretty much the same as the first chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then in the guitar solo, you're pretty much doing something nice and simple to not distract the guitar solo. So it's just down, 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 A5. Down, down, down. Again, he will vary this up, so you don't have to be exact every time. So just 4 rounds of that. And just do the same sort of thing with the sax solo, but put that B5 in at the end of bar 1. So sax solo chords, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. And we'll do 3 rounds of this. 3rd round. And then last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, A5, B5, and middle 8. And same thing, 16 bars in total of not much at all. Okay, so that's the middle 8. And then the third chorus, just do the same as what we've been doing before. Okay, so do that 3 times, same as before. sounds really cool in combination with Bruce's parts. And then in the outro, do the same thing. This is outro part 1, outro part 2. Sway thirds around. And then where are we? This is the 4th time of outro part 1. And then basically just do the same thing. Yes, so we're now in the outro part 2. Do the same thing. Round 2. And then round 3. And then the final time in round, so this is round 4 of the part 2 of the outro. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1. So that's when you've got that massive break. As we said, 20 bars there. And then you start part 4 by doing absolutely nothing. Because you've basically got that. It's only Bruce that's doing that bit to build up. And then where are we? So we'll now be in. So this is bar 72. Yeah, so you've got that. None of that kind of build up bit that Bruce does. And then Bruce will be doing. So we're now in part 4 of the outro. So Bruce will be doing this, and Steve will be doing nothing for the first kind of 4 rounds, and then when the whole band kind of comes back in, you're just going to go down, 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 down. So do that 3 times. On the final time, very final time, you're going to go 1, 2, and 3, 4. Of course, don't forget to obviously check the walkthrough, the tabs here, the song structure. I've notated all. Obviously, I notate everything in Guitar Pro, so you can kind of play it back, slow it down, loop it. All these Guitar Pro files or tab PDFs if you don't like Guitar Pro, available from the website jsmusicschool.co.uk. Just head to the Bruce shop in there. Or if you just want, to subscribe to one of the tiers on subscribestar.com/Bruce Springsteen Guitar, you'll be able to get files sent to your email on the 3rd of the month. The files aren't actually stored on Subscribestar, they're sent by email. So, so there's lots of, a brilliant live version, and it's nice to do a live version just to show you how it's definitely a lot rockier and energetic than the album version. Obviously, the album version is amazing. Yes, so hopefully you found that useful. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Any comments or suggestions, let me know. And please subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye. If you'd like to get Guitar Pro files, tab PDFs, backing tracks from any of these tutorials, head over to either the Subscribestar page or my website, jsmusicschool.co.uk. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. Thanks very much. See you on the next one.